Oh, this is the first series of the week. 14 Beers versus Colby's Cakes. Unfortunately, Tyler's not here, so we're missing one person, but 9 out of 10 is pretty good, especially when 14 Beers is one of the teams, as they've been quite unfortunately missing at least one, sometimes two or three players, as the Atros gets banned away from Scott, and Lilia banned away from Feoria. Aurelia banned. That's a ban away against a mid, as he really likes those aggressive mid laners like Aurelia, Zed, Akali, as the enemy gets banned away from Jemmy. And Jin gets banned away from Mukasol. I have no idea what his champ pool is, but I'm pretty sure because he's part of EJL, Aphelios is in there. Mukasol. 500 games, Emerald 4. Most played Aphelios, after that it's Jin, then Caitlyn. And Syndra gets banned away from Gemstone after he got kind of fisted last series when he was playing Syndra, as Syndra's pretty strong in terms of her ability to output damage, but she is also incredibly immobile, so very vulnerable to ganks, as Smolder gets first picked. Should see a response of AD carry and maybe jungle here, as most played Aphelios is locked in pretty quickly, as the Wukong is responded with. Wukong provides so much CC as well as creativity in terms of his ganks from his ability to jump over walls, and the amount of armor that he gets from his passive is pretty significant. So if blue side picks too heavily into a physical damage team comp, that can definitely be further reason why the Wukong is nice. Nunu, of course, a favorite by Feria, as Nunu is able to gank really often, really early, and no other junglers can really match it that easily, as Wukong is probably going to be playing for full clear, while Nunu has a lot more creative ganks. As the game progresses, though, Wukong can certainly use his clone to be able to block the snowball to prevent engages, as we are going to go Leona to pair with the Smolder. So right now, blue side has a pretty decent amount of engage, as well as pretty good damage purely coming from the Smolder. But as the game progresses, it will certainly get harder and harder for red side to be able to jump this Smolder. Swain is locked in. That's likely going to be Swain support. Swain support into Leona is going to be a lot stronger early since it's ranged into melee matchup, but not going to be providing nearly as much value in terms of CC and engage as Leona, which is going to make Smolder a lot more comfortable in teamfights than he really should be. So as long as Smolder really goes untouched in this specific game, he is certainly the win con for blue side, at least right now, and provides a significant amount of late game insurance. Smolder got left up in GG. Yeah. As Victor gets banned away from Jemmy, so there's going to be more mid bans against him. I imagine something like Quay might make sense to be able to provide more peel, as the Gnar banned away from Scott. Instead, they're going to look for the Xerath, which that is not something that he plays. But a long-range artillery mage would certainly be quite annoying to deal with, as right now red side really does not have any long range. Really hoping that red side is able to find nice engage options to be able to address this Smolder, and I imagine another immobile mid laner as the Camille gets banned away from Scott. So Scott's lost 3 champs. Amid's lost 1. As Renekton gets blind picked here, and they're going to leave counter pick for Amid. The red side is a relatively beefy front line, but their engage options are very limited and very one-dimensional, as the Renekton needs to be able to E in. And if he's not able to proc it onto someone, then he's not really going to be able to easily jump the back line. As I called out the Hui, and he does lock in the Hui, as it makes a lot of sense into the team comp that's trying to run into them. Should be top lane picked here. It's going to be Shen. So he's going to prioritize his other lanes. It's going to be pretty hard for the Renekton to be able to match the Shen, so why not just look to force turrets? So if the Renekton can stay even or slightly ahead in this top lane, and the Wukong plays for grubs this game, I definitely see the Renekton being quite a menace in the side lane. It looks like we're going to dodge for some reason. Who's going to gap Jemmy this game? It's going to be a mid. I definitely like Amid's chances of being able to beat Gemstone in lane, as he's a very aggressive player. Okay, that's crazy. Oh man, at least they're going through bans quick, so that's pretty nice to see. We saved that for the other one. No way you're saying that. That is crazy. Yeah, in terms of these team comps, I really do like blue side's a lot better because red side really doesn't have that ability to access the back line that they really need to be able to deal with the Smolder and Hui. And even if they were able to access the back line, the Shen, Nunu, Leona, Hui have plenty of tools in their kits to be able to prevent anything bad from really happening. So if the game goes even out of lane phase, then blue side should be able to easily close out the game. Or, not easily, but smoothly transition a even game state to a late game victory. That goes interesting. I definitely see it being able to really punish this Hui early. But after level 2, once Hui gains access to his E, it's certainly going to be a lot more annoying. As Echo's also pretty similar in that he's very one-dimensional in terms of how he engages, but that just means that the Renekton, Wukong, and Echo are really going to have to be looking for creative flanks to be able to get these nice punishes. As if either if Hui or Smolder is dead, then red side should be in a good position to be able to fight things. But again, it's being able to pick them off that is the main concern for red side's team comps. It's going to take a while, but we're going to have to wait, yeah, 2 minutes. This is game 1. That's why there's no games put at the top of the screen. 0-0. Game 1. We started... we're relatively on time. We're about 10 minutes late because we had to wait for Mukasol. But that's fine. The one thing I'm really hoping to see from blue side is patience. If they waste important cooldowns, then red side can certainly respond. You definitely coulda. It updated. W Rage Pay. Got your ass. Holy. Jake said 9:30 start. 7:45 is, or 9:45 was the start time. Yeah, really gonna need to see patience from this Leona, Shen, and Nunu. 7:45 would be Mountain Standard Time, which is what happens sometimes. Yeah, if the game goes late, then blue side should certainly be favored. The big scaling aspect from red side is the Aphelios and Echo. Aphelios has so much damage built into his kit, but he's incredibly easy to blow up. That's the main problem. Curious to see if he goes cleanse in this lane, as he likely should. The Echo is also really nice at scaling late game, because once he hits level 16, his ult cooldown is quite short, and at that point he likely has so much AP that being able to blow up someone is certainly possible. Team with Shen Dragon. What are you saying? Shen Dragon. Oh, you're saying Smolder. Fuck's sakes.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
For a second I was scared. I thought the Echo was going to be able to connect to the game, and then we're going to have to wait a little bit longer, but we're good.
Minions have spawned.
It's interesting seeing both the Leona and Nunu have Aftershock. The Smolder's going to find the Swain, but the Swain didn't end up using any abilities there. Very interesting, but misses his E into the alcove as blue side wards the middle bush. Old man Bubba. Poor reaction times. So far, the Echo's able to shove in a little bit better than the Hui early. Interesting seeing that he went Electrocute rather than Halo Blades. I personally like the Halo Blades, as it just provides a lot more early game aggression into these laners that really want to scale. And his job this game is more or less to just burst someone down, and Halo Blades provides that a little bit better, in my opinion. But either is honestly fine. It just means he won't be able to really proc it until he hits level 2. And at that point, the Hui already has access to his E, and really being able to jump him is already quite hard. Nunu pathing down the Leona, flash E, flashed away by the Hui. Also interesting, or by the Aphelios. Very interesting seeing that the Aphelios didn't decide to go cleanse this game, as the Echo tries to jump onto the Hui, but as expected, the Hui E really negates his aggression, as Nunu's still staying down here, knowing that the Aphelios doesn't have flash. Nice root from the Swain onto the Nunu, but this Aphelios is going to get taken down. Unfortunately, a little bit too aggressive by this Aphelios, as blowing that flash already, and having no cleanse means he's quite punishable. Smolder Leona just trying to crash this wave here, but Swain is trying to hold it as best as he can. Aphelios is back just in time to be able to catch it all. It's not really missing out on much, but the Aphelios is going to be able to purchase a dagger, while Smolder has a sheen. It looks like Smolder didn't decide to go for the Inspiration Tree secondary, as the Renekton looks for something out of the Shen, but the Shen's going to be able to negate the majority of that damage. But already the aggression of the Renekton's shown. Oh, he does have Inspiration Tree, just managed to footwear and Jack of all trades, as the Echo has to flash away from the Hui damage. Guess he nearly gets taken down there. Good chunk from the Swain onto the Smolder. But the lane pushing into the Smolder Leona makes this Aphelios quite uncomfortable. Nice dodge with the Smolder. The Hui is yet to reset here. I think you should be seeing that now. Instead he's just going to place a ward in the bot river. So yet again, a lot of his aggression mitigated so heavily by that fear, as Nunu's looking for engage onto the Swain. The Swain doesn't have flash, unfortunately. And the root is a little bit too far behind, as the Swain is taken down, but blows his ignite onto the Smolder, not being able to get anything outside of the, looks like the Leona heal in Smolder barrier. Renekton trading quite aggressively, trying to get the lead that his team really needs, as bot lane losing already into a scaling lane is certainly not what you want to see. But the Nunu is playing it very well by pathing directly towards that, as the Nunu is looking very good, go to the Renekton, and the Renekton is able to flash away. Pops ult, looking for something under the Shen, then Shen has to flash out as well. And now Wukong is looking for something under the Leona. The Leona should get taken down pretty easily. And unfortunately, the Wukong takes the kill there. It would have been a lot nicer to see it on that Aphelios, but I guess they really wanted to make sure that she wasn't able to get away. So now Red Side is going to be looking to play for this first try of the game, while Nunu is taking top crab. Really a good chunk for the Renekton onto the Shen. So incredibly close to the Renekton. Takes another turret shot. It's just barely on the edge of that turret. Looks like the Wukong is going to be building towards Triforce, while Renekton's building towards Black Cleaver first. Nunu is top lane still, as Shen is yet to reset as Smolder is able to crash this wave under tower, and they've removed all the vision around bot side, so Nunu could easily look for another regank down here, but instead he's going to be looking at path down from top to bot, as Wukong is doing pretty similar pathing. Big damage onto the Smolder. That's the biggest strength about this Swain lane. The Swain has a lot more damage built into his kit than this Leona. And the range is, of course, makes it a little bit harder for the Smolder to play than the Aphelios. So the Smolder, Leona trying to look for a reset, but the Smolder doesn't quite have his buy. Renekton holding the wave, looking for something another Shen. Looks like the Wukong will be able to take the grubs as well as that first strike that he took just a moment ago. Thanks to the roam up by the Swain. The Aphelios is down a little bit of CS because of it. Likely pressured off the wave because of the Leona, but also going to be catching a little bit of minions under turret at the same time. These solo lanes are really playing as aggressive as they possibly can for red side. Unfortunately, the Shen and Hui making it as challenging as possible to be able to get any significant leads. As Renekton does have a 30 CS lead, Echo down about 20 CS. But Renekton wants blood. He also wants that turret play desperately, but the Shen can easily just taunt him on a turret. And gets Shen to blow his W, so it does quite a bit of damage there, and the Hui's looking for a big chunk onto this Echo here. Echo just tanking everything, but does have ult. Just able to proc that and hopefully get away here. Does have flash if necessary. And the Wave Flash into Echo Flash. Echo nearly fell, and then he was going to pop an ult onto the Renekton. The other Renekton is in his ult, so he's going to be able to take down that Shen and potentially look for a kill onto the Nunu. The Nunu Flash is out. The Renekton doesn't have Flash quite yet. Nice W from the Renekton. And Nunu's still taken down, thanks to that wave coming just in time as he's able to use the double E. Yeah, really disrespecting the power of Renekton with full anger, or whatever his energy bar is considered. That's going to be a big golden fusion onto this Renekton, which red side desperately needed. The 3 grubs also going to make his push power a lot stronger. Renekton sticking around for a little while though. Curious to see what he's... Yeah, he's sitting on 2,400 gold, so should be able to purchase Black Cleaver on reset here as the Nunu's like for a gank onto the Aphelios and Swain yet again as the Leona popped ult, and Aphelios tried to dodge something there, but just flashes melee range into the Leona. Whenever the AD carry or any sort of laner is blowing their summoner spells like that, it just means they're very susceptible to a follow-up gank. So he's more or less died twice. If he accepted his death there, that would have been a lot more preferable, as the next engage Lucid should be looking for should be around bot side yet again, as the next drag is spawning soon. And I imagine Lucid doesn't want to forfeit a second drag. So Smolder yet to reset here as the Swain forced him to stick around. Is going to be playing for this drag with Nunu, while Wukong wants to be looking to invade, say, his top side, as it is all up. Felix looking for something here, but is playing a little bit too aggressive. He doesn't have his mid laner, nor his jungle, nor support nearby. Interesting seeing that the Renekton ended up going for Swifties this game, as the Nunu and Shen do have a decent amount of slows in their kits. Wukong's gonna find the Nunu in just a second, as he's barely able to steal the big wolf. Play is trying to save. Oh, they're looking for something out of the Nunu as the Renekton and Wukong go aggressive as the Wukong flash a little bit late onto the to dodge the Hui ult there. The Renekton getting lower and lower. The Renekton flashes forward to ensure that he is taken down. The Renekton looking for something out of the Hui. The stun from the Echo W is barely procced onto the Hui, and the Hui likely should get taken down. And he is, as the trade of flashes mid lane a little bit earlier, just now punished. As interesting seeing that the Echo ended up going Merch as this game. You typically see a lot more aggressive purchase of something like Sork boots. But it makes a lot of sense into that Nunu. Into pretty much the entire enemy team as Renekton's looking to dive this Shen is. He just gives over a kill. A little over eager. But Shen did have to blow his flash there. Overall, a net positive play for red side. It could have been certainly a lot smoother. But they really need early aggressive plays to allow them to snowball. Interesting seeing that it's Ocean Soul this game, so not going to be the most important or impactful soul. Got 4 on the bot side for both teams. Echo now able to easily shove in waves as the Wukong and Swain are looking for something under the Nunu, but they are spotted on a ward here, unbeknownst to them, as Leona is going to be a little bit late to this play, but again, they just now realize that they are standing on a ward there, as that's cleared 2 minutes before the next drag, so quite a lot of aggression. There's no objectives actually available to them on the bot side of the map, as Shen now has Titanic, so he's going to be able to easily match Renekton's wave clear, making it a lot harder for Renekton to be able to play for these plates. Redside playing for Herald here. Echo feels like he's forced to TP in just to ensure that the Hui can't influence this play. And Smolder ends up blowing his flash after getting caught up with the Swain E. A really important cooldown for red side. Curious to see if they're going to be able to punish it. Oh, since the Shen ended up blowing his taunt there, the Renekton able to just run him down, take that tower. Is going to be able to chase him further and further. Nunu on the bot side of the map looking for something onto the bot lane. But he is chasing them under turret, and he is able to secure his prize as the Hui is up here, and just barely is able to hit that Renekton and secure that kill as the Nunu gank was thwarted. Like, good positioning in lane state overall for red side. looks like Nunu is on the drag here. Does have Prio mid lane, and his bot lane is there a little bit sooner. Leona's going to spot out the Wukong there. And this should be a give from red side, and it looks like that is the case. It's giving the second drag of the game, or second drag to the enemy team is not the end of the world. As an Ocean Drag at this point in the game isn't really that impactful. Curious to see how Renekton is going to be able to use his lead to assist the rest of the map. Could certainly look to roam, or look to just continue to force down top lane. As instead he's going to be catching this mid wave here. There's Herald. Barely able to take down this Ventura. This Swain pops ult, Nunu's popped ult, and the Wukong's going to be able to cancel that Nunu ult with his own ult as they actually for some damage on the backline, and the first person that's going to get taken down is then Wukong, then Echo, and here comes Renekton to be able to secure the kill onto the support of blue side, but he is quite strong, level 14 in Dominus, is looking for engage onto the Nunu is able to flash away from the Renekton, but should get taken down as the Swain W is just a little misplaced, so that he is able to get away with just being able to blow his flash in exchange for the Renekton flash. Very unfortunate turn of events for red side. If they just took the tower and got away, that would have been a much better situation for them. As it looks like the Smolder's going to be able to easily take down this bot turret as things get worse. Next drag spawning up in about 3 minutes. The Smolder is considerably far ahead of this Aphelios, about 1500 gold. Mid's up about 600, jungle's 200, and top lane, the Renekton is up at like 2500. So that is very much the only gold lead available for red side, as the Smolder is caught out here. Nice Wukong gold. The Smolder doesn't have flash still because of that earlier play, as the Echo's going to be able to flash for it and get that kill. And now they're looking for something onto this Leona. Leona doesn't have flash either, and so a double kill over the Echo is going to be quite nice to even up the gold in mid lane and potentially threaten a Baron for red side. As the Nunu, Hui, and Shen are going to struggle to be able to easily gain access to this pit. Aphelios is a little bit late, and the Nunu does channel his recall. They are all on vision. Echo's looking to recall as... But unfortunately for him, the Shen, Nunu, and Hui are looking to stop this from happening, as Shen's going to take a lot of damage. Then here comes the TP coming out for the attack of the Swing's going to pop his ult. They're looking to engage on the Hui. The Hui is way too far forward, so this is going to be the first one popped. So now they're looking for somebody in the Shen, and the Renekton doesn't even fall. The clone from Wukong doesn't even fall either, and so a bad play goes from just gets considerably worse as Echo's looking for somebody onto the Smolder and the Nunu, and they're just going to be able to walk out of there. And now red side up about 3,500 gold. Next drag spawning in a minute 20. I don't know why the Hui was ever standing there. Very strange positioning, all things considered. Nunu's looking for something here. It looks like it's just going to be playing for the crab. Smolder's going to be able to collect a few plates mid lane, as Renekton unfortunately doesn't have TP for a short period of time. Likely just looking to crash this top wave and then rotate back mid to play with the team. Oh yeah, what you have to remember is that red side... Oh, the Renekton's looking for playing onto this Leona and Smolder. That stun is going to hold him down long enough to make it certain that he can't really get anything done. Yeah, red side has Baron, they got Herald, they got 3 Grubs, they have So much turret threat. That these sides being problematic for them is not great at all, especially when the Shen is building mostly damage, as he's going to be building towards Dusk and Dawn second. Really would have preferred to see a tankier purchase, as Echo tried to look for something out of the Smolder. He's still going to be chasing him down. Smolder's cutting him as best as he can and is able to avoid him, as Red Team was able to secure the second drag for themselves. Okay, Tyler. Felio's going to get caught up by this new snowball. The Leona's going to be flashing forward as they feel he's going to be able to respond with his flash as well. And the Smolder ult. Leona ult blown. As the Echo is looking for something out of the Shen, and the Echo is considerably strong. No magic resist built by the Shen quite yet. Echo's going to pop his ult just to make sure he has enough damage to be able to secure this kill onto the Shen. As her next lever, the turret taken down, he's going to pop his ult. Make it a little bit easier for him to take that turret, but just barely not enough life in him to secure it. As he's also yet to build any magic resist into the Nunu and Hui. Ophelia should be relatively close to be only able to purchase his Infinity Edge. That's a pretty nice item spike for him. As after that, it's more or less utility items, like a Zeal item, as well as LDR, which will make it easier for him to kill tanks, as, again, he's a little bit too far forward, but the Leona isn't here to be able to easily punish him, as the Swain's able to get a nice root onto him, and he's going to pop his Q to be able to get a nice burst of speed to avoid anything else, as the Echo and Wukong are going to steal this blue buff. And now we're looking for something out of the Nunu. They can both jump over the wall, so they can easily punish here. They don't know that they're sticking around. Here comes Aphelios and Swain as well. Instead, they're going to decide against it. Just walk away. Really would prefer to see more aggression there, as they knew this Smolder was stuck on mid-wave. And playing fast and loose is really their game plan, as Renekton finally able to secure that bot turret. He's going to find the Shen, though. Thank you for the leash, as Renekton takes everything. Renekton should be closing in on Death's Dance relatively soon. That'll make his survivability a lot quite nice. After that, I imagine he's going to be building towards some sort of magic resist. As Echoes pops ult to avoid the Hui ult. And just going to be able to run out of there. Smolder jumping forward. Barely not able to hit that passive, as the Echo's able to flash forward and not able to get his shield off just in time as the Renekton TP comes in. He's going to be trying to 1v3 here, as well as a 1v4. Potentially 1v5, as the Shen's going to be ulting in as well. And a bit of a misfortunate macro play from blue side, as once they dedicate that many members to the tops of the map, when it was totally unnecessary, means that the mid-tier 2 is going to get taken down by red side, and now they look for bot tier 2, as Aphelios is trying to run away from this Nunu, is engaged and able to barely avoid it. As we're looking for some out of the Nunu, and the Nunu's ult's going to get cancelled, and he's taking so much damage. Flashes over the wall, but still going to get taken down. And that is a very important death, as Nunu is not going to be alive for this Baron respawn. And so likely because of that over-aggression, oh, here's a nice TP coming out of the Echo, looking for something out of the Smolder, or the Hui. The Hui misplaced his E there, so Echo's not going to get easily trapped over that. It's going to pop ult. And the nice chunk off onto Smolder, also going to get the Hui and Smolder ults out of it. If the Hui had just waited half a second to be able to walk slightly closer to that TP, he would have made it impossible for the Echo to be able to get anything done there. And now the Nunu is about to respawn, and he's up. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have TP to be engaged. In a massive 3-man Echo W, Sun and the Renekton's looking for something onto the backline. The Wukong's able to engage them as well as the Smolder's going to get taken down after the Echo's exchange for him. And it's a 4-for-1 in favor of red side. Really nice Echo W to stun their entire backline, all clumped up on one another. Just makes it so easy for the Echo to be able to easily target. Potentially the Ninu's looking for this drag. The Swain's going to be pathing down to ensure that he can't easily do it by himself. As red side playing these fights so much better than blue side by a long shot. It's definitely too that the scaling that Smolder and Senna provide are really unmatched for the most part, but because of their massive scaling, it means that their early game is quite weak. And so if you're able to easily punish it, then it's fine leaving it up, but you have to really play very aggressive to punish it, and red side has been playing quite aggressive in these past few fights, and it is absolutely panned out for them as the Ninja's going to get caught up by the Swain E. The Shen taunt avoided by Renekton, and the Renekton is potentially going to get engaged on with the Smolder and Leona. It's going to be able to E out. The Smolder slows him down a little bit. Going to try and chase him down, but fortunately for him, the Smolder doesn't have his E up in time, while the Renekton does. While at the same time, this Aphelios and Swain are threatening mid-turret as Ninja's looking to walk back. Gets the engage, and both of them have to flash out as Swain's going to pop his ult a little bit longer than a Leona ult into the Smolder damage. Is going to take him down. Oh, as the Aphelios hits the plant, goes way too far forward as the Hui missed his ult, looking like Bean out there as the Echo's looking to engage on the Hui. At the same time, the Renekton's fighting the Shen on the side. Looks like the Echo is able to get away scot-free as the Shen's taunting the Renekton under turret. Nice damage from the Echo here, and flash blown by the Hui. Still taken down though, as Echo's trying to run away from him. As Leona's going to be able to flash onto him, and Smolder secures that kill there. 6,000 gold lead in favor of red side, as Soul is spawning in 230. Smolder closing in on Infinity Edge. It's a massive spike for him as they buffed Smolder's crit scaling, but they nerfed other parts of his kit. So if Blue side can get a clean 5v5, they certainly have good chances of being able to secure a teamfight win as the Renekton's looking to engage onto the Shen here. Is able to block that Renekton W. There's 4 members nearby, so Renekton's going to be popping his ult, trying to live as long as he possibly can. The slow negated a little bit by his Swifties. Renekton is taken down by Smolder. Nothing really blown from either side, so not really going to impact the game that much, outside of giving, looks like, Smolder Infinity Edge gold. But Renekton's still going to have his flash back up for this next team fight. Well, Aphelios is stealing Ninu's camps. And Wukong does have GA as well. Blue side slowly getting their way back into this game as a Swain hits a nice pull onto that Smolder there, and Smolder takes so much damage Junk down to half health. Echo could certainly look for a flank here, as there's no wards. Hui and Nunu are going to be sticking on the map, all while Echo's looking to take down this bot tier 2 the Nunu and Hui looking to flank, as he is able to secure that, and likely won't be able to get CC'd in time, so he is able to TP out. As drag spawning in 30 seconds, blue side ping the bot side of the river. Shen's going to be in a little bit of a strange position for the rest of his team, but he does have ult to be able to easily join them. Now they're just going to be looking to clear out vision, as it's about 15 seconds before drag. Wukong's in a good spot there, not spotted out quite yet, as Renekton flank is spotted. I just could look for something out of Leona here, as Wukong is able to get rid of her shield. Big damage from this Smolder and Hui onto the Renekton, chunked down to half health already. The Renekton could easily just TP back as Wukong tries to do damage to this Shen, but he is quite tanky. Echo's looking for something, but he is rooted down by that Hui W, or Hui E. Bit of a Mexican standoff right here. Leona's shield is broken again. Big damage from the Swain. Well, not big, but slowly but surely. As Echo continues to look for something, he's looking for something onto the Smolder, but just barely not able to get anything engaged. And then Echo is going to be the first person to take down, and the Hui is going to be taken out soon afterwards. A big Nunu ult, and then Renekton is trying to flash away to live as long as he possibly can. A big Wukong ult in the backline, but he's not able to do as much damage as he possibly needs to be able to save this team fight. As Nunu gets lower and lower, he flashed out. And Ophelio's still doing quite a lot of damage. At the same time, he's also taking a lot of damage from the drag, as the Smolder gets a quadra kill, looking for a Penta here, and likely will be able to secure it as he does. And we have scaled for blue side, as red side was not able to easily jump the backline, which they really desperately needed to do. And because of that, that likely will be a victory for them, as they are able to secure their third drag of the game. Gotta chill out, PP. That's crazy, man. And they likely will be able to take down this Baron as well. Red side still up a little bit of gold, but unfortunately for them, the Smolder is up a full item on the Aphelios. And they have, again, so many tools in their kit to prevent red side from accessing the backline. Oh, Aphelios way too far forward, so Leona tried to punish him with her flash ult, but he was able to flash away just in time. But no Aphelios flash. He's quite vulnerable. Don't walk up! As Leona will easily sacrifice her life, and the Smolder AoE will also easily kill. As Echo's looking for a kill onto the Shen inside. Aphelios should honestly just look for a reset here, as he could die to damn near anything. Shen still has ult, while the Echo can't easily follow it up. So red side is going to concede their mid inhib, which is the correct play. 6 item Smolder, 4 item Aphelios. Oof.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Renekton leave for something into the Hui. The Hui doesn't have E. Action's living for as long as he possibly can. He's just going to pop his ult, and a lot of damage coming out of the Smolder. Going to be able to pop the Wukong at the very start, and maybe we're looking for another pentakill here as the Nunu's going to get taken down by the Echo. The Renekton is harassing them in the back line. The Leona and Hui are zoned off because the Shen's also walking back. It looks like the Smolder's the only person stepping forward as he narrowly takes down the Aphelios. As the top and jungle for red side were taken down at the very start in exchange for the Nunu, which is... it doesn't really matter. Leona's able to get engaged on the Echo. The Echo's going to pop Zonia's to be able to live for a little bit longer as the Leona gets popped. And the Echo should get popped as well, but he's able to get a little bit more damage off. As the Swain had to flash away from that Hui Q. Aphelios taking more and more damage. So blue side just going to retreat after taking down 2 inhibs. Their next push should lead to a victory for them. Soul spawning for both teams in a minute and a half. And red side doing all they can to be able to stave off these minions. Because Aphelios should be quite far from his 5th item. Yeah. Likely it would be Bloodthirster or GA 5th. Either would be quite nice to be able to purchase. So 30 seconds out from this next drag spawning. Echo taking a lot of damage onto this way as the way nearly taken down, but not quite, as the Soldier's going to be popping his ult, trying to snipe that Echo. As Nunu's running it down, Swain's popping his ult, but a lot of damage coming into the Smolder that's going to likely be game. As the Echo dies to the Smolder AoE Q as Swain walked into him. Renekton looking for engagement on the Smolder taking a little bit of damage, pretty much nothing. As Renekton is the one that's actually going to get taken down. So the Wukong also looking for engage on him and going to get his GA popped. And red side just feeding the Smolder kills as Aphelios also walks into the Smolder. Everyone's just killing themselves. Well, that's game. Red side was outscaled. A few unfortunate team fights. Red side could have certainly won this game if they played a lot more creatively with their engages, as they had a significant gold lead, but they just were not able to translate it into a victory. As Jake is very clearly the MVP game 1. Like... Now we're off to game 2. So Smolder's off the board. He's the one of the best, if not the best, scaling champs in the game at the moment. Some people say that Vayne outscales Smolder, but they would be very, very wrong if they said that. As we very clearly saw the potential of a fed Smolder. heckin' love Smolder. He pressed Q, then he walked back, then press Q, then walk back, then press W, then he gets engaged on, presses E, and then he press Q. Hell yeah. And now we wait, I guess. We bide our time for game 2. Very curious to see what Jake's gonna end up playing this game. Seen him play Ashe before. In the games that he was playing previous to this, he played Jhin and Ezreal for the love of the game. The mage bot of 80 carries. Yes, it's a lot easier to play Smolder because his positioning doesn't matter nearly as much as long as he's able to hit one Q then step backwards. He's pretty simple. You're not allowed to play mage's bot. Yeah, Tyler can't play him. So not allowed. It would not be a fair sub. It'd be too good. Bean. Emergency plot AD sub. Uh-oh. It might be Bean's time to shine. Holy. Who else would be a compatible sub? Okay to sub. You can't just say a blanket statement like Bean is okay. I don't know about that one. Kiwis is like plat. P-Rob's a fair sub, right? Bean has to 80 carry. Come on, man. Don't be like that. That's no fun. They asked for plat. No, they asked for emerald. Oh, they said plat. What the hell? He's emerald, though. Look, look, look. Emerald. Look. Ignore this part. Let's hide that. Uh, Snipping tool. Look, emerald. It's perfect. Yeah, I can't read. Look, he's emerald. He's not plat. What the hell? That's true. Jake is an Emerald 1 player. Same rank as Feoria. We love the trenches. It's safer there. Who the hell did that? Who did that? Put him back in jail. It's so peaceful that he's not been typing. Holy. I forgot about him. Why can't Mukasol play? He's literally here. I'm so confused. So now we got everyone. They were able to do one game with all 5 players. I think they've been able to play with all 5 players once before the game they just played. So 2 out of 16. That's pretty good. That's 12.5%. That's pretty good. 2 out of 16. Hell yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that's why I said 2 games. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So last game was the second one. Yep. Joe, get off the account, mate. Oh, and so we wait. More waiting, more waiting. Okay, I thought he was gonna say we need another sub. Oh, thank goodness. Get after it. Holy. Who won game one? Smolder won game one. They could have easily. They certainly could have won, but they weren't creative enough in terms of their flanks. And so Smolder was just able to easily avoid their aggression. That's true. I put these in a while ago. That's pretty easy to tell who won game one. As Varus gets banned away, that's interesting. Varus, Poppy. Poppy's definitely against Scott. Varus against. Oh, Bean. It's against Bean. I forgot Bean is subbing it. And they banned Brand too to make sure that he doesn't play any AP champ spot lane. Got his ass. You sniped his ass, true. Oh man, I can't wait to see what Bean's gonna play this series. As Jarvan's locked in first for blue side. After they banned away Orianna, Malphite, Ashe, a lot of Engage really banned away. So really want to be able to play a lot safer this time around. No, no, he's subbing for Mukasol. Ray's right here. He's right here. We don't do account sharing as Jake takes away Caitlyn. Uh-oh. What the hell? Kane. What the hell? We locked in Kane. Feoria Kane. As Ziggs gets locked in, that's Bean Ziggs. Holy. It's Bean Ziggs, surely. That's pretty good, because the Ziggs is really nice range to match Caitlyn's range. And I really hope Bubba just leaves him on a fucking island and just roams all game. Because that's the play for sure. You think Bean was gonna pick an 80 carry? W Rage Bait. Holy. Amelia locked in. Team wanted the mage. What did you try? What did you try to lock in? No way you tried to lock in Yunara, mate. You're such a liar. As Zed gets banned away from a mid. Senna? Senna would have been good. Senna would have been good, but you would have struggled really hard in lane. As Galio gets him away from Jemmy, as right now Red Side really doesn't have that much of a front line. It's likely to be WK9 to provide a little bit more front line, but he's not nearly as tanky as the members that they are likely looking for. Nefiri banned away, as Blue Side does have enough AP at this point in the game, so they could certainly lock in AD mids and AD top laners. And there's the Mundo, banned away. What the hell is that emote? Vibe Jake. What the fuck is that? Emilio cringe. How is Emilio cringe? Scion, there's the Giga tank we're looking for. The chat, the Twitch chat's already crazy. I'm excited for the all chat. You better be typing in their perma. I do. Yon's really nice. He's gonna be providing a little bit of magic damage. The two subs and both shit talking constantly. That's awesome. That's passion right there. I like the Alawi. Just kind of vibe on side, and whenever Kane comes around. Darius also pretty nice to be able to easily 1v2. Thresh into Ziggs Bard. You gotta remember it's Ziggs Beans Ziggs, so that is fair. It could definitely punish mispositioning, but it's fine. As Vex locked in last, I don't know if I've ever seen Jemmy play Vex, but I don't think it's been really that great in the past. She-Ball. He a Thresh main low key. If I speak. And Bean from out of nowhere. Holy. I like Blue Side's team comp better this game. I think they have a lot of strong points. They have decent tankiness. They have really good long range with the Ziggs. As long as he can output damage consistently, then Red Side is going to have a tough time itemizing, as they likely are going to be prioritizing tab buys as well as a lot of armor stacking. Of course, the Kane's going to be a little bit more bruisery, so he's not going to be able to build full-on just armor items. Sion's going to be hard to kill, but, I mean, Darius and Yon have a pretty good time as long as they're able to just free fire onto him. Bot lane of Caitlyn Milio into Ziggs Bard. I would say it's pretty even. I'd probably prefer the Ziggs Bard lane, in all honesty. I think the Milio pick was kind of bad because it doesn't really do much. As the ult, it doesn't negate any form of CC on blue side outside of Bard Q and a couple slows. So more or less pretty useless pick. It's going to be pretty nice in lane, as it's going to be providing additional range to Caitlyn to really punish Ziggs' mispositioning. But again, it's an AP champ, so you can play pretty easily by using your abilities, stepping back, and never really being forced to play in auto range, which Caitlyn really uses to punish the lower range champions that she's used to playing into. The Kayn Jarvan, the Jarvan's going to be a lot better ganking early, as EQ, of course, is going to be providing a little bit of CC, while the Kayn is providing a slow until he's able to get his form. Pretty much pre-form Kayn is not a champ. In the top lane, the Darius should be punishing the Sion just as much as he was punishing him previous game as they're connected into the Shen. But unfortunately, the Sion not able to easily match when out of position like last game with the Shen ult. The Sion ult, somewhat similar in terms of its ability to rejoin team fights, but has to be in line of sight of those specific team fights. If I see Ziggs ulting the wave, that is not a good sign. I just want to see this Bard roam mid all game and get this Yone as ahead as possible. Of course, you definitely want to play for the Ziggs lane as he's your only form of AP outside of Yone does a little bit of magic damage. But Ziggs is going to be fine on an island. Technically, he didn't. Actually, no, he did approve it. He did approve it. What the hell? Can't wait to play for Bean. True. Darius's go. That's pretty standard. Interesting seeing that the Caitlyn decided to go for Doran's bow. It's a lot more damage early, but it doesn't have the health, and has a little bit less sustain in lane. Oh, Bard stepping way too far forward, and Ziggs gets chunked out a little bit early, and then we're going to see a little bit of a fist fight as it looks like the Caitlyn's going to get the better of that trade slightly, but both of them are going to pop their pots early. As Bean's shit-talking all of them. Nice damage from the Ziggs onto the Caitlyn. Put the names on? No, 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 no. I don't like it. It's not good. Another nice Q from the Ziggs onto the Caitlyn, but the Caitlyn's gonna be able to respond with a nice Q as well. No names. You can look on the sides, mate. It's so easy. And this looks a lot cleaner. There's not as much clutter as the Darius able to hit a nice early in on the Silent. The Silent gets chunked out so heavily. As Yone's just trying to survive lane. Oh, Bean. He's gonna miss a few minions there. It's fine. We didn't see that, surely. Nice key from the Ziggs onto the Caitlyn. As Caitlyn's already popped both her pots, and Ziggs has biscuits as well, so he's gonna be sustained for days. Alongside the nice engagement of the Yone onto the Vex, but the Vex has a pretty good trade back over, as the Vex is a favorable lane in this matchup because of the constant jumping around that Yone does. Makes it easy for Vex to proc her fear. Don't die, Yone, run! And he's gonna get feared and flash for flash, still taken down. Way too aggressive, should have certainly reset after that previous engage. Decided against it and is punished. This is a very good matchup for the Vex. Yun should just be looking to jump out above. He does have Darius nearby to be able to prevent that guy from jumping out easily. And then Jarvan EQs, but Darius is right around the corner to be able to secure this kill onto the Kayn. Now looking for something onto this Vex here. And a nice roam up by the Bard, unmatched by the Milio. Ignite popped, and Bubba gets the kill after the Darius blew both of his stumps to try and get that. So unfortunate, but this is exactly what we really want to see out of blue side. The Bard roaming up permanently and just leaving this Ziggs all by himself. Once he gets Lost Chapter, it's going to be a lot easier for him to stick around, as he won't really have to worry about mana nearly as much. Right now he is not CSing great, but it's fine, it'll get better, right? No way we just CS with our W. Don't walk into the trap. Okay. The K-trap was pushed a little bit further to the right. The Ziggs would have no way out of that position, but he did have a position out there. Just decided against walking through it, as he didn't realize how close the Caitlyn trap was to that wall. As Caitlyn does have Cole, so going to be scaling pretty nicely. The Ziggs should not be ulting waves. He really shouldn't. As the Yone continues to go incredibly aggressively onto this Vex here, but really not winning those trades. Sure, use a Yordle. -1. Caitlyn's a little bit low on mana as Ziggs pops a Biscuit. Jarvan pathing down here. But the Caitlyn and Milio are just going to look for a reset here. As Ziggs should just look to shove this next wave and then look for a reset. As Drag is spawned up. Vex now level 6. It looks like a little bit of the XP was taken by Yone's teammates. KW a little bit wide. Jarvan pathing through lane. I like the creativity. All sums available for red side. Milio a bit too far forward. Does have Q to be able to knock it back, but doesn't get it off in time, so it is going to flash out. The Bard flashes forward and stuns her down, as well as the Ziggs W. Holds her down a little bit longer, but unfortunately the Ziggs is just barely not able to get that damage off as he ran out of mana there. As Jarvan flashed away from the Caitlyn Q, it was not going to hit, but better safe than sorry, I suppose. It's a trade of a few flashes and a bit of Jarvan's time. Now the Kayn on the top side of the map could look for something out of the Darius here, but Darius is certainly could 1v2 them. It's a nice Caitlyn trap to punish the Ziggs TP. Should see a... Oh, Q a little bit early, but... Actually, wait, no, that did hit. That was very strange. I don't know. I don't know. But Venus lost chapter now, so the Bard should just be able to perma-roam the rest of the game. The Bard's going to be trying to cancel the Caitlyn recall, but barely not able to get it off as the Milio Q hits onto the Bard after Scion ult was heard across the map. Still Darius up about 30 CS nearly. No drags taken quite yet. Nice W from the Ziggs onto the Caitlyn to prevent the Caitlyn from being able to play too aggressive, as the Caitlyn ult is popped on the Ziggs to chunk him out a little bit, as Ziggs ult traded back onto the Caitlyn. Darius pops Ghost, looking for something out of the sign. The sign does have flash if he decides he needs to get out of there, but the Ghost and the slow from Darius W makes it quite hard for him to be able to get out of there, and so that Darius ult is going to secure that kill. And already a good start for the top side of blue team. Nice stun for the Bard onto the Kayn. The Kayn's going to be taking quite a bit of damage, chunked down to nearly half HP. As the Yon's still looking for something onto this Vex here. Ended up purchasing a Cole. Very interesting seeing he didn't buy any magic resist yet. As Kayn's going to be taking a little bit of damage from the Dragon. It's going to be reset, as the Vex unfortunately didn't have Prio in that specific circumstance. And Kayn is quite chunked out. Yeah, these trades are not good for Yon. If he has Vamp Scepter on back, that would be quite nice, but only able to purchase a Longsword is not really the purchase you're looking for, as Ziggs doesn't have TP, but it is a Cannon Wave, so shouldn't really lose that much. And now here comes the Bard roam again. Very similar to last game when he roamed up the previous game for the Grubs. And the Milio, yet again, not matching that roam. As Darius slowly taking down this turret. A lot of good wards from this Bard onto Kayn's top jungle, and pretty hard for him to be able to really play around those Grubs. So gonna have to concede that. That's gonna be the first objective taken at 10 minutes into the game. No first drag. If Bean was gonna do this, he should have played Lux. Like, Lux ult is so short. Like, that is the champ where you just ult the wave. But Ziggs is fine, as Darius gets a nice chunk off into this Scion. Interesting seeing he's going for Triforce this game. A little bit more of an aggressive purchase than the Black Cleaver. As Ziggs is in a bit of a pickle, but a nice Q from the Bard is going to make it pretty easy for him to be able to get out of this. As Kayn gets a W off, and that's about it. As they're looking for something under the Kayn, the Yone's also looking for something under the Vex. He plays pretty aggressive, pops the ult onto the Vex, but he is under turret, and Vex does have fear. Oh, pops that Q3 a little bit too early in the Vex. Oh, flash for flash! The Vex is able to win it. Kayn and Jarvan are going to be leading to fight for this crab. The Jarvan is quite a bit stronger, as the Kayn is only damage items, while the Jarvan has a little bit of health, as the Bard gets a nice Q onto the Caitlyn, and a big chunk onto the Caitlyn from that Ziggs kit. Nearly popped shield for the love of the game. Yeah, I really would have preferred to see the Yone purchase a little bit of magic resist early, just to make it a little bit easier for him to lane, as those exchanges are so unfortunate, as the Caitlyn hits a nice ult onto the Ziggs, and the Ziggs ult not able to secure that full minion wave, as the Bard takes this tunnel, and the Kayn's going to pop her flash. Jarvan pops flash looking for aggressive play onto the Caitlyn, and it looks like that Milio ult didn't provide any healing there. Or if it did, it was so marginal, it was hard to tell, as the Jarvan was able to secure that kill, all while the Darius and Yone are doing the drag for the Jarvan. All sums gone from the bot lane of red side. Not a good look. Yeah, that doesn't look like fun. There's probably more Ziggs ults he's used on the wave, we just haven't seen them. The funnier thing, though, is that his ult doesn't even kill the wave in its entirety. It doesn't even kill the ranged creeps. Bard looking for something onto this Vex. Milio is nearby. Darius popped Ghost a while ago. Vex doesn't have flash. Nice flash from the Darius, looking for a good engage onto the Vexes. She does get the fear off in time. And the Kane's able to ult to dodge that Bard ult there, as the Kane's gonna get knocked by that Yone ult and barely not taken down. Very, very close exchange. As Vex does have ult and Fear right over the wall. Pops Fear onto the Bard, and the Bard takes half his health. And Darius is going to make the sad walk back to top lane. So he's going to be building Triforce and Black Cleave in this game. Which makes sense, as he's going to gain a lot of move speed off of those two items. Oh, Bard saw the ward, just decided against it. A big chunk from this Darius onto the Scion, as his E does provide armor pen. So he already has a decent amount of armor pen in his kit. He's looking to take down this turret, and likely will be able to do so as the Scion pops ult, but a little bit too late, so the Scion wasn't able to prevent him from getting that turret, as the Ziggs secures the kill into the Kayn, as the Kayn played a little bit too aggressive there, trying to steal those Krugs, as nice movement from the Yone to be able to dodge that Fear from the Vex. The Vex pops ult, but doesn't have anything really going for him, so it should be able to get taken down here, as the Yone just holds his E, not giving Vex easy access to his Fear, as the Scion pops his flash to live. But everything coming up blue side this game. 14 Beers looking a lot smoother with their game plan. As Bard and Jarvan looking for something onto this Caitlyn and Milio, but the Caitlyn and they both are able to get the recalls off just in time. Jarvan and Darius taking the Rift Herald. So far this game, Lisa is able to secure every objective. As this Kayn has yet to get any KP this game. Pretty much not able to get that much damage off onto the enemy team as well. So transformations quite behind. Unsure if he's Ross just yet. There's no way to really tell unless we actually see him on screen. As a lot of damage being traded back and forth between this Caitlyn and Ziggs. The Ziggs E a little bit too wide. Darius potentially looking for something onto the Kayn here. The Yone also in the top side of red side's jungle, as Kayn's going to be able to hit that blast, going to be able to get out of there pretty easily. Nothing available for him to farm. Oh, Darius is a creative spot. Misses his Q and his E. Should just be able to chase down the Kayn, but the Kayn's able to walk to the wall, and Darius popped Ghost. Unfortunate for him. Trying to get out of here, though, as the Vex is able to hit that E and the Scion ult to follow it up. As the kill goes over to the Scion, probably not who you really wanted that on. It's quite unfortunate. But blue side able to secure their second dragon of the game, so this game is going to be Hextech Soul. That is going to be quite nice for the Ziggs. Outside of that, it's not the most important soul for blue side, as they don't have a lot of long range. Nice engage from the owner of the Vex decided against continuing his aggression. So they pop the Herald bot lane. Nice Bard ult, going to be able to hold down this Vex, and the Ziggs ult coming through to ensure that he gets an assist there, but the Vex is going to be able to pop her flash to be able to get out of there. The flash from Jarvan and Yone there, but the Vex still not taken down as the heal and ult popped from Amelia to let her live a little bit longer. And now Arya's red side just in a favorable position as they secure 2 kills onto the Yone and Jarvan. Oh, while the Darius is on the top side of the map. Big Amelia value. Blue side just played way too aggressive, while the Darius is on the top side of the map. After the Vex blew her flash, they honestly should have just walked out after securing that bot turret. But they still have a little bit of a gold lead, as well as every objective in the game so far. This next track spawning up in 3 minutes. Darius trying to threaten this top tier 2. But unfortunately for red side, both solo laners can easily match this Scion, as the Bork of Yone makes it quite easy for him to be able to shred through Scion's health bar. Scion just able to walk out though. Scion no TP. Kayn has finally completed his form. Darius looking for something out of the Vex here. The Vex doesn't have flash and doesn't have fear quite yet, as Darius is able to pop his ult and secure a nice kill after blowing his flash. Could mean a Baron for blue side, as Yone's looking for something out of the Sign. The Sign does have ult to be able to get out of this if necessary, and does decide to pop it. Yone pops ult, but unfortunate for him, he's a little bit slow on his reaction time, as Jarvan and Darius looking to 2v3 up here. The Caitlyn's doing quite a bit of damage. A nice heal from the Darius, but not quite enough. As Ziggs looking to threaten tier 2 mid. Jarvan and Bard looking for something under the Kayn, and a nice stun by the Bard onto this Kayn here, who gets chunked down quite heavily, but does pop his ult. And again, another nice stun by this Bard. Oh, Yone's gonna die to the turret. Oh. Maybe a flash is and lives a little bit longer. This blue side does get taken down there somehow, as health bars were quite low, it seemed, for a second, but that's how I got an ace. Huh. Amelia is not the best champ in the game.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Blue side just played a little bit too aggressive, as the Caitlyn has a lot better sustained damage than the Ziggs, Jarvan, and the Vex coming out of nowhere to be able to blow up the backline of blue side also certainly helped out. As Darius continues to split, drag spawning in 10 seconds. Darius does have TP here. Sinus TP, nice stun by the Bard. Blind as well. Milio's in a bit of a pickle. Doesn't have flash here, so should get taken down. A nice Q by the Milio to live a little bit longer than the Yone pops ult. And the Ziggs also pops ult onto this Milio. Now they're looking for something out of the Vex. The Vex pops ult. And not going to be able to hit anyone, so she gets easily taken down. It looks like the TP was popped by this Darius. Darius also pops a Ghost, looking for something onto the Kayn. The Kayn's going to get taken down soon afterwards, and the Jarvan pops ult. Now we're looking for something onto this Kayn. The nice Bard ult to prevent the Kayn from being able to get anywhere soon, as the numbers advantage making it easy for blue side as the Melia was in a just unfortunate position. And very nice punish from blue side. Like they should be able to take down this drag. Bot tier 2, maybe mid turret. Mid inhib turret, as well as a look for Baron, but instead it seems there's just not quite enough time as the Ziggs should be able to use W to blow up that turret. It would be a bit of an early inhib take. But more gold doesn't hurt. As blue side go up to about 3,000 gold lead. Every single objective of the entire game. They've only lost one tower. This is a dominant game coming out of blue side as the Kane's looking for his red buff, but it doesn't realize that the Jarvan is taking it right in front of his face. As he's able to secure it with a smite, as the Melia was just threatening enough as the Yon's looking for something onto the Vex and the Jarvan, and Darius are also looking for something onto this Yon, and this is Ziggs ult, and Darius ult barely able to live through all of that, but he's going to be dying soon afterwards as the Kane played way too aggressive. The Vex was able to hit the ult on the Yon flashes away. He has a nice Yon ult, but we're not going to be able to see that as the Melia gets taken down and the Yon got his life exchange. The Ziggs going to be flashing forward, trying to get something onto the Scion there. That was pretty humorous as the Bard narrowly misses that Q onto the Caitlyn, flashes forward, trying to live a little bit longer, but the Jarvan's going to be ulting onto the Vex, and he's going to get taken down soon, as well as blue side yet again just playing way too aggressive for no reason, are giving up kills for the love of the game. And now the gold's pretty much even again. I like the aggression when it's controlled, but in moments like that, blue side needs to figure out why they want to fight. The Kayn was dead, the Melia was dead. That was a Baron take, for sure. Tyler, you're freaky, mate. Ziggs ult just a little bit wide as the Caitlyn's able to use her 90 caliber net to avoid it. Oh no, Bean, don't do it. Scion and Kayn looking for something under the Ziggs. The Bard is quite the spot. As blue team finally loses the second turret and the gold is pretty much evened up. As the side lane threats from blue side of the Darius and Yon are so hard to match. Vex and Kayn trying to punish this Yon. Yon's just going to play it safe. Unsure if Darius is TP or not, because for some reason the interface doesn't make it very clear if it's available or not. I'd really like to see this Yon, Jarvan, and Ziggs take Baron while the Bard and Darius threaten side. Nice Bard ult, forces the Caitlyn to use her flash. And Melia ult popped for some reason. Uh-oh. Bard went way too far forward. Gets himself popped. So he's gonna find out the Kayn. Ziggs almost down 100 CS as Caitlyn has 4 items now. Jarvan gonna find out Kayn. Instead looking for something under the Caitlyn, and the Caitlyn doesn't have flash use, so she's gonna get taken down after that. Darius blows both of his summons to be able to secure that kill. The Yon to Jarvan looking for something onto the Kayn. The Kayn gets lower and lower. The Jarvan barely not able to hit his knockup, but Kayn is eventually taken down as Darius now looking for something onto the Scion. The Scion is gonna get chased down. Does have his ult here, and is gonna decide against using it. So the Ziggs and Darius trying to threaten the base as Vex has fear. All while the Yone and Jarvan are going to be taking down the Baron. 20 seconds for Soul for blue side. And Bard warding at bot side to make sure that red side's not able to easily get in there. TP coming in from Caitlyn. So they are going to be there on spawn. TP coming in from the Yone. He's in a bit of a strange position. Doesn't have ult to be able to get out of here. He doesn't have flash to be able to get out of there. He's going to be hit by the Vex ult. Nice Bard ult, but unfortunately not going to be able to save the life of Yone. And so now blue side going to be down 4v5 under even gold. As Vex ult hit onto the Darius. Oh, Vex is a little bit of a pickle. He's going to get slowed down by the Ziggs, and he's going to trade his life over the Bard. Portal not going to be taken by anyone on the blue side, and it's going to get secured by the Kayn, as the Jarvan's going to be holding down the Kayn and the Sign for a little bit of time as the Darius trying to run away from the Caitlyn, as the Caitlyn's trying so terribly to take down this Darius, as he does just that. Oh, blue side really needs to slow the fuck down. The Yone TP was absolutely abysmal and allowed red side to be able to get control over that dragon pit. And Ziggs ult catches that wave. Kind of. As Kenny's going to be slowed down a little bit, and she does so much damage to the Bard. Nice straight up Yone ult onto the Caitlyn, taking so much damage. The Yone gets taken down though, as the Bard living this barely looking for a kill onto this guy. The Vex ult going to be flashed away by the Bard. The Bard's not barely able to. Oh my god, he barely was able to take that portal as Vex flashes forward and secures that kill onto the Ziggs. That's a big Bard ult, but it's not going to lead to anything. So just pressing buttons to press buttons. Yeah, of course we get some all chat banter. Fantastic. If blue side had played a little bit slower this game, they could have had a commanding lead. Your team's hinting Fehoria. Holy. A little bit of flirting and all chat going on. Kane's gonna get spotted out, gonna pop his ult onto the Darius. Bard should be able to look for a stun here and gets it off. So he's gonna get taken down. Oh, what was that flash? Bartle's gonna miss onto the Vex. Darius popped his ghost there, not able to chase down anyone else. As Ziggs only gonna get hit onto the Milio. Kane just pinging summoners for the hell of it. The only person who actually flashed there was the Jarvan. Oh, the Kalen's a little bit caught out, doesn't have flash here. Is going to get taken down, exchanged for this Bard, as the Yone's going to get a nice Q3 onto the Scion to prevent his knockup, as the Million's going to have to flash away, looking for something onto the Vex, Milio, Scion. Are they able to secure this game here? As they should be able to secure the mid inhib. Instead, they're just going to play safe, and we're going to keep going. As the Scion's popping on, looking for something under the Ziggs, and the Ziggs is going to get knocked up and sent straight to hell. Oh my god. This is what's going through Bean's head right now. My god, where'd my team go? What the frick? Oh, Kane trying to get his jungle, but unfortunate for him. There are quite a lot of nearby members as Darius looking for something under the Vex there. Did have flash, but decided against playing for it. Honestly, just blue side needs to play for sides as they are so strong in sides. No one can match the Darius, no one can match the Yone. Especially once Yone gets IE. IE is going to be a really nice purchase as the Yone cancels his recall, looks for something on the side, decides against it. He's just going to walk out of there just to ensure that he doesn't get picked off. And Bar just giving this Kane hell. Oh no, Bean. Okay, he's fine. Straight up Yono onto the Vex again, and gonna get feared down, but is gonna be able to pull back as for some reason the Vex walks straight back into the Yone's E, and so was able to get taken down. A nice Bartle onto the Cane of the Silent. We're looking for something here. Maybe able to get stunned down, but unfortunately not quite. As the Bard taking a lot of damage from this Caitlyn, the Jarvan tries to get something done, but please just take the soul. Instead, they're looking for something on the side. The Silent does have his flash, and his ult's going to pop his ult. This Darius flashes to cancel it, and the Jarvan's leaving. They kill secure there. All while the Yone takes top inhib. Really, really good pick from the Yone there. And they're finally going to get sold. It's likely going to lead to the Baron as well. XX Soul is going to make this Ziggs even more of a nuisance, as every single Q is going to be slowing people. So now, game plan. Blue side, we're going to need to see 3 people escorting the waves in mid lane, while one person is going to be in bot jungle, while the other person is pushing bot lane looking for a pick. Once they're able to secure 3 inhibs, this should be a clean win. She-ball. Don't say they're gonna find a way. Don't say that. Blue side's gonna run it down again, and then they're actually gonna find a way, and they're gonna get Elder, and red side's gonna win. Oh no. Just the throws from blue side have been so random. Like, here we go, Beans mid, just walking straight up to a Scion that has ult. Please don't get caught. Kane inside catching waves. Genius. So the Jarvan is the only person that's not present in this. He is able to purchase Death's Dance though. Curious to see if red side is going to realize that the Jarvan isn't here yet. Yone tries for engage there, thankfully snaps his E back. Oh my goodness, look at the damage onto the Yone. He does have TP. Honestly, just let Yone push mid and the rest threaten bot turret, as the turret is going to die eventually because of these cannon-empowered minions. Darius is getting lower and lower as well. As Yone and Jarvan are threatening mid here. Those are a lot of supers. As the Kayn is going to get jumped by this Yone. Yone's going to be able to hit a nice ult off into it, but barely not able to secure that kill. The Ziggs ult, just for fun. Oh, the Kayn's going to be flashing forward, and the Jarvan's going to be able to hold her into the trap. The Jarvan trying to get this kill, but not able to get it done. The Darius secures a kill onto the Vex. Now it looks to be onto the Sign. The Sign flashes out. The Caitlyn's in melee range into this Darius, and likely going to be gamed there as Melio gets popped, absolutely deleted. And somehow Ziggs died and all that. Nice sign onto the Darius, gonna hold him down for a little bit longer, and he's gonna get taken down. Oh no, are we gonna... Oh no, that was the Jarvan that died. Oh, I'm seeing things. That's quadra kill, pentakill. It might be unofficial, so we'll see. We'll see, it'll load. Yeah, it's unofficial, so they got it done. They wanted to lose, but they found a way. And so it's gonna be a 1-1 series. And so MVP from that game, it's definitely gonna be Darius. The Yon had really good picks on the side as the game progressed, but the Darius was a menace in all team fights. So uh, Darius, so Scott and Feoria, because I can't give MVP to Jake for first game, even though he very clearly was the MVP for game one. But Feoria had really nice ganks early on, so that was also pretty impactful. What's up, Scott?
Ring ring.
Ring ring hello.
Hello.
It's unfortunate that Mukasol wasn't able to participate in the second game, as it would have been nice to see you guys play a full series together, but
Yeah, we haven't had that one quite yet, but we got 2 games of the full roster. 1-1 now. No longer undefeated. Thanks to that like absolute Thanos smolder.
true. Yeah, you guys definitely were in a good position to be able to take game one, but the you had a lot going against you guys as you really had to look for really creative flanks to be able to engage their backline, and they played really well.
Yeah, they just turtled really well. We didn't like know how to break anything. There was like we're gonna catch waves with Wade and Smolder, and then we're gonna come back out and 5v5 you and beat your ass.
Hell yeah. And you guys came into game two. Obviously, the hyper scaling Smolder was going to be available, and now you have Bean on your team. Are you guys begging Bean? No, you can't play AD carries. You have to play mages. We don't trust you. What were comms like going to draft?
Actually, I was calling the things I had played with him. So like Kaisa, Varus, and I think Ashe are the ones I've seen him play. But we were planning on banning Ashe because I'm scared of Jake. Um, and then they banned the Varus, and after that, he was like, I feel a lot more comfortable on Brand than Kaisa, especially into the Caitlyn. And then they banned the Brand, and we were like, okay, let's just do whatever you can lane with. And Ziggs was not something we talked about at all before the game, but Bubba mentioned that it was like a good. I think it was Bubba mentioned it was like solid into Caitlyn and he could survive. And he said, yeah, fuck it, just pick me that and I can do it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I really liked your guys' team comp game two. You guys definitely had a massive lead in game one, and of course, the Smolders unfortunately outscaled you guys, and it's pretty hard to engage your backline. But as you guys had a lot of moments where you threw game two. Was there a lot of calls around that?
So the one where we like killed 3 or killed 2 and then walked into 3 and gave all them shutdowns.
Yeah.
We were a little bit split on the comms there. Some of us wanted to go Baron. We knew we couldn't end because they were coming back, but we also heard they used a ton of spells on Yone, and we were like, okay, so let's just run them down and get them real quick. Um, and the ult went onto the target that was not called out, and Vex flashed out of it, and then I stepped on a trap, and it was doomed from there.
Yeah, I was scared for a moment as the Vex and Caitlyn were becoming quite hard to engage on for you guys, but you guys were able to figure it out.
Dude, I felt so locked in on the side lane picks, like catching Caitlyn on mid and Vex on top. I would literally just sit there, I'd put a ward in a bush, I'd run away, catch a wave like halfway down the lane, and I'd just watch them clear the wave, and I would just sit in the bush and say, oh, she used fear, she's dead. And then I would sprint in there and take her head off.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely how you guys were able to win game two. The pick that Amid was able to get onto the Vex near top lane before Soul spawned, that was so big.
Yeah, we literally said that was like the biggest moment of the game.
Yeah. Additionally, Bubba has some really nice engages with Bard, constantly really good stuns with his Q and some really nice ults as well. But you guys played really
Yeah,
good
Bard
game
was
too.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, nice, really interesting back and forth series. I definitely see a world where you guys could have gone 2-0 or gone 0-2, but overall ended up a 1-1 result. Not a
For
bad
sure.
um, final series to play out as
Oh, we
we.
got one more, right?
Hmm?
I said, don't we have one more? Because I haven't played against Lynn. Or did we play against. Oh, is this the last week?
I believe so. Let me see.
Oh, maybe Lynn joined the team after we already played him. Because he's been like just bothering me every single week, asking when we're gonna play each other.
Yeah, this is the
Oh,
last
I
week. Yep.
baited the fuck out of that guy. Psst.
W Rage Fade, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just getting him to keep on waiting. I'm gonna see him one day, and then we just don't play a single game against each other in the top lane the entire year.
Nice.
You you keep prepping those Aatrox counter picks, buddy.
True. So it looks like you guys are going to be sitting at 6-10 as your final record. Seventh going into playoffs. Of course, we're definitely going to take some time to figure out how playoffs are going to work as a whole. But how do you guys like your chances when you have all 5 members of your team going into any team in general?
I feel like we are a top four. Like we'll be in a semifinal if we can schedule with all 5 of our members,
Hell yeah.
and we'll see where we go from there.
Anything else you'd like to say before we turn off the stream?
Thanks for staying up so late to cast this thing. I know it was like a lot of delays, and thanks everyone for sticking around. Have a good night.
You gotta remember I'm MS teammate. This isn't that bad. You guys have had worse
Oh,
series, to
true.
be fair. But yeah, thanks for playing. It was definitely a more entertaining series, as there's a lot of games where people just play really slow, play really safe, and wait until objectives spawn, and then they start fighting. But you guys were all gas, no break, which is fantastic to watch. So thanks
Yeah,
for
we had
playing.
so much more direction game too. It felt so much better, like actually run around and do something on the map rather than just like hit a wave, see no people on the map, and then watch them catch the wave, and then nothing happened at all.
Yeah, you just gotta clean up a few things that you guys did in game two.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But overall,
Happy little
yeah,
accidents.
happy little accidents. When you guys have all 5 members, you definitely look pretty solid for sure. But yeah, thanks for playing. Thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned for when the next series are going to be popping up, as we have a few more, as this is the last week of the series.